Okay, here's a deep dive on how to orient your clip-on microscope on your specimen. So, to start, our camera is on, and we have our clip-on microscope. What we want to do is first turn on the light. You take this ring here, you turn it to the left, and you get the light. Okay. I want to show you just one of the features of this clip-on microscope, and that is beneath the tube here, you have a clear plastic ring. We call this the collar. And the collar is the exact size and length so that when you place your clip-on directly over the specimen and the collar is touching the plate, it will be in exact focus because this defines the focal plane. So this is a very cool feature of this microscope because you don't need to focus. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we're going to take our mobile device. We're going to align the lens or one of your lenses to the lens of the clip-on. And then you adjust it so you get a perfect circle. And like we saw earlier, if you have a case, it's going to change the focal length, so it may not work. So please take the case off your phone before you actually, or your device, before you actually do this procedure. Okay, I've got a circle. It's clear and crisp, so I know everything is aligned appropriately. Okay, now I'm going to place the collar directly on the plate and surround my specimen. So there, I hope you can see a mosquito larva in perfect focus. And you are able to use the zoom in your camera to get a closer view of some of the features that we will be using when we determine what taxa this is, whether this is Anopheles or Culex or Aedes, or maybe not a medically important taxa. Okay, so going in there, we can go in there, we can look at that siphon. We're going to learn more about the siphon in just a minute. And we see that there is one clump of hair on there. That's very important. Remember that. Okay, so I think we're good. I think that now we have enough information. So as you go through the key, you can continue to refer to your live specimen. You can turn it over. You can manipulate it a little bit using your toothpicks so that you can see all the features you need. But before you do that, make a couple pictures to photo document the work you're doing. So, okay, I'm sorry, it just moved a little bit. Get it back in focus. Okay, so we want to do two photos. One photo is of the entire specimen. So that's a good one right there. That shows the head, the thorax, the abdomen, and the terminal abdominal segment, which we call the tail. Take a picture. The next picture you want to take is going to be looking at the siphon, because the siphon area, the terminal anal segment, which we call the tail, is one of the features that we'll be looking at in more detail in just a second. But you see the siphon, that is that sort of thick, blunt thing here. It's got one tuft of hairs coming off the end. And we also see here, it's not very clear, but we'll show you in a minute, but that is the saddle. So what we want to do now is we want to take a picture for our photographic record that shows this detail. And this is good because then other scientists can look at the scientific, the taxonomic, your taxonomic ID and, determine its accuracy. Okay, great. So let's take that second photo for the app and we're ready to go.